Good evening, everyone. We'll call the public hearing and regular city council meeting Tuesday, August 14th to order. At this time, I'd like to invite any who wish to join council in our invocation this evening, followed by a pledge of allegiance. I ask that before we begin our invocation, we observe a moment of silence for Councilman Shirley's line of new classes.
Bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us here today, God, to gather together and do your work. Thank you for keeping us in sound body and sound spirit, God, as we move forward on this day. Let us make decisions that will be a betterment to our community and be of service to the people that are here and voted for us. And let us continue to work in your name and enjoy this meeting. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay. Chair will entertain. Good evening, everyone. Glad to have you all here. We're going to move pretty swiftly through the agenda this evening. Chair will entertain a motion to waive the reading and approve the minutes of July the 10th, 2018 regular city council meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. Minutes stand approved. Item 4 on our agenda is the MASC Municipal Public Safety Category Award, and our representative, Mr. Bill Taylor, is here. Mr. Mindy.
Mr. Mindy. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Always a pleasure to come over, Mark.
I had to have you here.
As you know, I'm Bill Taylor. I'm your field service manager with the Municipal Association, at least for the next 17 days, after which I am actually retiring from the association after 8 years. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you guys. And I am very pleased to be here to recognize the City of Hartsville for winning our Municipal Achievement Award for your Hartsville Police Department Community Outreach Division. You know, we presented this award at our association's annual meeting. The head and Councilmember Johnny Andrews was able to accept the award on behalf of the city. You know, the City of Hartsville won the Achievement Award for the Public Safety category. We had over 30 cities and towns from across the state that submitted their own projects and initiatives for consideration for this award. But today, we want to share this with the rest of the council, staff members, and also members of the public. And so at this time, we'd like to share with you the video presentation about this important project that was presented at our annual meeting. So turn it over to
Public Safety Category, the City of Hartsville. The City of Hartsville looked to gap forward between the city's police department and residents. With nationwide tensions in the background, city leaders took action to foster relationships with residents and reduce crime rates.
The community programs fit in with our department here at Hartsville exceptionally well. They are intertwined and, as you say, knit together. We are all public servants, and we try to help the communities as much as we can. And the communities show and reach out to individuals that are having difficulties, that we have a heart and that we care about our communities and try to help as much as we can. So it fits in that way.
After the American Planning Association's Community Planning Assistance Team completed the neighborhood assessment, the city developed a strategy to address challenges in the city's most crime-ridden neighborhoods. The police department created the Community Outreach Division and Satellite Office to build trust between the community and law enforcement. A U.S. Department of Justice grant allowed the city to create a community liaison officer position. The new division focuses on challenges through special programs such as community presentations, school visits, and coffee with a cup. An extensive network of partner organizations supports the division's success by avoiding duplicate efforts in the neighborhoods.
Since the program has started with the Hartsville State Communities Outreach and Victim Advocate Services, it's made a great impact in the community. It shows the people in the community that we're not only just going out putting people in jail, but also on the flip side of that, we're helping them to try to turn their lives around. And from what I've seen and throughout the whole department, throughout the community, it's made a great impact with the people in the community being able to not look at us in a negative light, but to see that we're doing positive things out here.
The partnerships have repaired not only relationships, but also homes within the community, thanks to the city's connection to the employee ministry and police to overcome walls and end racism group. The Community Outreach Division is also involved in the Hartsville Safe Communities program. This community partnership gives a second chance to repeat offenders through direct access to counseling, childcare, and continued education.
And this program just helped me, gave me a solid peace of mind, helped me be productive in the community. The output and the value that we give my community now is great. I don't have to worry about going out committing crimes or doing anything. And my story also helped people in the community to see that if I can do it, that they can do it.
The Community Outreach Division has created an environment of trust and open dialogue in the city of Hartsville.
This was a great project, and you know, one of the whole goals of our Achievement Award program is for cities like yourself to share these great ideas and programs with other cities across the state, and something that they might be able to emulate back home. And so that's exactly what happened at our awards banquet when we had over 300 municipal officials there watching this video presentation and learning about what's happening here in Hartsville. I know that Councilmember Andrews was proud to accept the award at that time, and I'm pleased to be able to share it again with you today. So on behalf of the Municipal Association of South Carolina, congratulations on winning again the 2018 Municipal Achievement Award. So,
Yeah, I would ask that the chief and staff that work hard on it come up and take credit for their hard work. Come on up, y'all. This is their hard work. I'm just watching the magic happen.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Bill, can you help celebrate the 17 days, come back to town,
Okay.
have a little going away rooftop
Pool
party?
parties. Got a place where you can pool on?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Next, Boys and Girls Club update. Carr is here with Clay Seegers. Nice to have you all.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Council. Without trying to take too much of the time, but I do want to, I heard you talk about in the presentation impact. One of the things we try to do with the Boys and Girls Club is serving a lot of kids, and that's what we talked about. The number of kids and how many kids we see a day, and I can tell you about those kinds of numbers on, and we're excited. But we're really excited about the testimonials on the backside of it. And that's how we measure impact of what we're doing. We talk about, we see these kids from 2 to 6 every day and 7 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes for the teen group. But to hear these young people's stories about the opportunity that we think we could present to them at our club is really what it's all about. I do, again, want to thank the city of Hartsville, first of all, for allowing us to be a part of this community and the support that we get. And I tell folks, when I hear about what's going on in Hartsville, it is an exciting time. Because I go through a lot of different communities here in the PD area, but I tell them about the opportunity that we have with Hartsville, and we thank you for it. And that's really what we're here today for, to tell you what's going on at the club. To tell you that they saw 200 kids and 225 kids during the school year. That's about 200 kids during the summertime, 10-hour days. And to tell you that our funding sources that we receive, and I do want to take this, we're very excited about, we receive about $200,000 from the Department of Education state area. So we did a grant about 3 years ago through the Kellogg Foundation. The Hartsville Club was given the dollars from the Kellogg Foundation, which is one of the largest foundations in the world. And it's supposed to identify 20 kids from 2 elementary schools, which was Washington Street and I don't say Thornwell, and they're kind of close in proximity. And we hired 2 teachers, was able to hire 2 teachers to come in at each side, pay the teachers part-time salaries for those teachers, and was able to hire like 7 tutors in each one of those schools. Your district allowed us to hire those people and to bring those people in instructional times. Anybody who knows anything about education, the instructional time is really the face time where the kids get with the teacher. We was able to pull those kids out between the grades of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders and to try to improve their reading skills. The program was called Spark. At the time, the superintendent was, she had just retired, but they hired her to do the evaluation piece, Dr. McKnight. Florence, there was a team a group in California and a group in some part of Alabama with 3 recipients of their grant. We had some of the best numbers in the country. Those schools saw some great increases of those kids reading, and it fell right in line with the state's appointment in reference to improving kids' reading level by 3rd grade. We just got news about 3 or 4 weeks ago that the department, Kellogg didn't get the money this year. The feds, the federal department, called us and wanted us to implement that grant again. So we was excited about that. It's a 3-year grant. We're going to be able to, this year we're trying to get to some younger groups. I think we have a school that has some younger kids like the K through stuff, so they want to attract those kids into the 3rd grade. So we got refunded for that. So we excited about that, about $275,000 for 3 years. So we started again, and we're excited because of the work that we're doing here in Hartsville. And I tell folks, my job is also kind of difficult because we always trying to find avenues for funding sources. When I tell you, we're always looking for avenues of funding sources for our club. I spend 90% of my time doing that. But when we hear the results of what we say we do, and I believe me, I do a lot of, we say we do some of this, but to have a 3rd-party evaluator come in and say, great job, Hartsville Boys and Girls Club. It is to the testament of the people that we have in the Hartsville community. Ms. Diane, in her absence, it's on vacation this week, because she just got on summer camp. It's the only week we have off. School starts back next week, we'll be open again. But from that, we received another grant from the federal, from the feds. So we're excited about that and excited about what we're doing. One of the things that I talked about with Danny probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and the mayor also, we had this conversation of how we continue to fund the clubs in Hartsville. Funding for us is really a challenge, but we're making our way. And we cannot do it. We talked about, the gentleman's name was Mr. Colonel Lee. We had him come in and we talked about trying to galvanize the Hartsville community to help support the Hartsville Club. Our organization is probably about a $2.7 million organization that's 6 sites across the PD area. But how do we make sure that Hartsville support Hartsville? With Mr. Lee's help, now we kind of help to direct some people about how do we get Hartsville people involved. Mr. Seeger's here. We developed a Hartsville local board. The local board actually runs the thing. Now we help fund them as much as we can. We continue behind the scenes, grant writing, but this local board is really, I think for me, has been the difference maker. Local people trying to support the local cause. Mr. Seegers and a group of board members, we've got about a group of about
eight active
board members, and they're doing some great stuff, and I just want to give them an opportunity to say a few words because it don't happen in this community. I tell folks, I go to, like I said, 6 different communities, and all of them different, but all of them have the same challenges when we talk about serving affordable after-school care for young people. And that's Boys and Girls Club model. We want to inspire and enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to realize their full potential as caring, productive citizens. I tell you, at the end of the day, if we ain't doing that, we ain't doing our job. And we know it takes some money to make these things happen. We hire our full-time staffers and we hire part-time staffers because volunteers are great, but when the kids get out of school at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they look for somebody to be there, and you can't, it's a little difficult to volunteer. But we do need volunteers. But holding people accountable when you're paying them, it's a little easier when we do that kind of stuff. So I'm here today just to give you some update on this report, and it's really about impact. I heard the gentleman talk about impact. Gosh, you got to be able to measure it. Our national has been pushing for us to measure everything we do. We got a lofty goal. I'm going to tell you this. So it's great to see you, Steve. Our national has a very lofty goal. We are measuring, we survey our kids every year about their experience at the club. And our experience at the club, their experience still comes from, gosh, on their way to the club, why they're there, is there a care professional there that they feel connected to? We're talking about team pregnancy, about their involvement in alcohol and drugs, and we can have some good numbers. We're not where we need to be. But they say by 2025, let's call Impact 2025, we need to be at 75%. And that 75% of our members, I think we talked about total you served 442 members at the club. 75% of those members need to report to our national that they have an optimal club experience. And that's a challenge for us. When we're working through it, with training the staff members, sending them to training, but without the support that we get from these board members, it is very difficult to make this happen. So I do want to publicly commend Greg and his group for working in the back, make sure things happen. I want to give them a chance to work.
Oh, thank you, Dakar. Dakar and I met about 4 years ago, and Dakar asked if I would be interested in getting involved with the Boys and Girls Club. And at that time, I knew very little about the Boys and Girls Club. I recognized that it was sold as a national organization, but did not realize that each community is incumbent upon that community to support the local chapter or organization. And realized right away that we had some holes to fill, and we've strengthened our board. And our third annual Night of Hope is coming up this month, the 25th of August. And that is our annual fundraiser. It'll be held at Lawton Park. Tickets are available at the club or Berry Bookstore, or you can contact me personally. It's a great event. Kids have artwork. We have silent auction for the artwork, have a live auction, and are able to raise quite a bit of money for the kids. The car hit a lot of different things. Having grown up in Hartsville, the impact Hartsville's made on my life through school, education, public school system, the friends, relationships I've made. The Boys and Girls Club is so, I use the word important, but that doesn't overemphasize enough the impact it has on these young kids. And if you have a chance to visit the club, and you'll feel the energy, you'll see the kids, and they're little sponges. And for the community without the Boys and Girls Club, these kids would not have a safe environment to go to every day. And it's not just a safe environment. There's after-school tutoring, there's one-on-one tutoring, there's mentoring, and it's a wonderful program. So tell friends, family about it, those you may have business relationships with, and please remember the Boys and Girls Club annually when we have time to tithe and give. Thank you.
And I have one more thing, because I would be remiss not to say this, because we talk about support. I mean, I tell folks, the Butler Heritage Foundation, I would be remiss to stand in Hartsville not say the kind of support that we get from the Butler Heritage Foundation. I tell you, we could not operate if it wasn't for the Butler Heritage Foundation, because, like I said, they give us access to, 11 year lease with them for the building, and the partnership is really continuing to grow. And I do want to stand here and say thank you to the Butler Heritage Foundation also. United Way also.
All right. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
And I think we're okay. We're good. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Items on the consent agenda. This manager has no update. If you received without objection, stand approved. We're moving to unfinished business this evening. Item 6 on the agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4341. If the manager will publish the ordinance.
It's an ordinance to amend the City of Hartsville, South Carolina City Code by amending the title of Chapter 18 from Cable Communications to Communications by adding Article 1, Small Wireless Facilities, to establish the standards for the placement of small wireless facilities in covered areas in the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, and other matters related thereto.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of City Manager. This time, the chair will move to open the public hearing. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4341, if you rise, come to the front, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And hearing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing and entertain any motions from the floor.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to pass ordinance 4341.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. Ordinance 4342 passes. Item 7 on the agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4342. The manager will publish.
Ordinance of the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, amending and restating Chapter 14 Business License, Article 2 Business License Program of the City's Code of Ordinances to update the business license rate schedule to make certain other modifications to city's business license procedures and other matters related thereto.
Okay, further reading by title and presentation of the city manager. This time, the chair will move to open public hearing on ordinance 4342. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4342, if you rise, come to the front, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And hearing that there are none, chair will close public hearing, entertaining motions to adopt.
Motion to adopt ordinance 4342.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing that there is none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. Ordinance 4342 carries. Item 8 on the agenda, public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4343. The manager will publish.
To amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Hartsville, Appendix A, zoning, Article 3, definition of terms, Article 9, district requirements, Section 5, E1, central business district zone, Section 7, M1 industrial, and Section 8, M2 industrial zones to add breweries and brew pubs and other matters related thereto.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of the city manager ordinance 4343. This time, the chair will move to open public hearing. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4343, if you rise, come to the front, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less.
Good evening. My name is Mary Casey. I am a pediatric nurse practitioner from Columbia, South Carolina.
Come sit so we can scoot the microphone up.
Oh,
That's
I'm sorry.
right. That's right. Tell us your name and address.
Mary Casey, 1000 Rockwood Road, Columbia, South Carolina. My child is a student at the Governor's School for Science and Mathematics. The proposed brewery is across the street from the school. The children walk straight past that to get anywhere out of the school, and they are allowed free access to a 1 mile walking boundary. My concern is the same concern we've had in 5 Points in Columbia for quite some time. Our children, young children in college, are being hit by drunk drivers. They're being shot by people having bar fights. They are being beat up on the streets. And I think that Hartsville does a really good job of trying to keep the Governor's School a little bit quiet where it's located because there's not a lot of signage. I think that they do a very good job of having the community watch out for the kids. If somebody's outside of the boundaries, if they know somebody's where they shouldn't be, the school's notified. I believe that Hartsville does have a lot of room to grow, and that corridor where you come in on 15 needs a lot of revitalizing there to make the city look beautiful. And there are a lot more places where I feel that a brewery would be more appropriate than directly across from a school. There are 38 sexual offenders that live within a 3 mile radius of the Governor's School. Putting a brewery right there says to me, are you going to be able to monitor that one of those people isn't sitting in your brewery on the porch every day watching the children coming down? It says, are you going to monitor every single person who leaves your bar for a blood alcohol level so that they don't hit one of our children? I just feel that it was very quickly thought of as a good revenue bringing part and as a great tourist attraction. And I agree that that would be fabulous. And we have many microbreweries in Columbia. But to put them in that proximity to a high school directly across the street, I feel is just not a safe thing for our children.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, hearing that there are none, Chair will move to close the public hearing. Entertain any motions to adopt.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to adopt ordinance 4343.
Okay, is there a motion, a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. First, final reading of ordinance 4343 carries. Item 9 on the agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4344. Manager will publish.
Providing for and approving amendments to an ordinance entitled, an ordinance providing for the restructuring of the waterworks and sewer system by adding Water Park Enterprise, authorizing the issuance and sale of combined system revenue bonds of the city of Hartsville, South Carolina, and other matters related thereto.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title and presentation of the city manager on ordinance 4344. This time the chair will move to open the public hearing. If you'd like to be heard on ordinance 4344, if you'd rise, state your name and address for the record. Come to the front, please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. Hearing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing. Entertain any motions from the floor.
Make a motion to pass ordinance 4344.
Second.
Is there any discussion on ordinance 4344? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. Ordinance carries. Item 10 on the agenda is public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4345. The manager will publish.
An ordinance of the city of Hartsville, South Carolina, amending and restating chapter 2 administration, article 4 boards, commissions, and committees, division 5 local hospitality tax advisory committee, section 2-413, powers and duties to suspend the hospitality tax committee when hospitality tax funds are budgeted during the city's annual budget process.
Okay, you've heard the reading by title of presentation of the city manager. This time, the chair will move to open the public hearing on ordinance 4345. If you'd like to be heard on the ordinance, if you'd rise, come to the front, state your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes or less. And hearing that there are none, the chair will move to close the public hearing and entertain any motions to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 4345.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing that there are none, everyone in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ordinance carries. Item 11 on the agenda is resolution 08-18-01, a resolution for approval to transfer of cemetery revenue perpetual care investment trust funds. Is there a motion to adopt?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. Resolution carries. Item 12 on the agenda is resolution 08-18-02, a resolution for approval of the Hartsville Police Department to enter into a memorandum of understanding and cost reimbursement agreement with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, also known as the FBI, for the PD Safe Streets Task Force and PD Violent Crimes Task Force. Is there such a motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. The resolution carries. Moving into executive session. All right. Item 13 on the agenda, Chair will entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to the South Carolina Code Freedom of Information Act, Section 30-4-70, paragraph A, subparagraph 1, for the discussion of appointments to various boards, commissions, and committees. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by nay. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand in executive session. Thank you for your time and patience this evening.